Hi, soapy friends. I'm Kendra. Welcome to Wet Soap Wednesday, where we're going to make some lovely, lovely soap. I'm very excited about it. But first, I'm going to get my hair put up. Now, why on earth am I waiting until we're live before I get my hair put up? It's because I posted over in the group, what was it, Sunday, I think? Extra use for Ann George's Indigo and her henna and some other goodies I put in there. And I did a hair mask, and I put henna in my hair, and everyone said that they wanted to see what it looked like. So I said, well, it's on the videos, but this is my hair, and it is freshly hennaed. You can still kind of sort of see where the roots are. I didn't leave it on for the full 3 hours. I just got about 2.5 hours before I'm like, oh my gosh, it's heavy because there's so much of it. It really does get quite heavy. So I usually have it distributed more evenly over my head, but we're just doing a quick tuck up for you here so we can get started. Otherwise, we'd have to wait 20 minutes for me to pin all my hair up. All right, hair pin in, and see, I'm really not that tall. It's the hair. But you can also see I didn't leave it on quite as long as I should have. This is the color I usually get out of the henna, and I've been adding the indigo in because, getting older, getting those grays, and that indigo kind of darkens them up a bit so they're not just this bright orange, kind of like the orange in my hair cap I just put on here. Okay, yeah, getting all right, now you can see me all. Okay, now we're ready to make some soap. Yay! I hope those of you that have popped in, you can hear me, right? We did have that issue last week. I think I'll be forever petrified that the volume's not working. Before I put my gloves on, let me explain what we're doing today. We are going to be playing with some of my Anti-Alkanet powder. We are obviously playing with all these soap shreds and chunks, and we're going to use some Anti-Alkanet. So let's take a look. I'll flip you over here so you can look down with me. There we go. All right. These are the soaps. There you go. From just some of the soaps from the Anti-Alkanet and Alkanet Masterclass Live. Only one of these is Alkanet. This one here. All of these others are the Anti-Alkanet. It was so much fun. But I also have that tutorial up for cold process rebatching. One of those is confetti. Confetti soaps, I think everyone kind of knows what they are. And that is with taking just your chunks and mixing it with oil. The biggest problem I always had with confetti soap was getting the right amount of shreds and the right amount of new soap to fill the mold without having any leftover soap. So that's part of, or the big reason that I put the tutorial together today up on the website, not to show you how to, just chuck soap shreds into your soap batter, but really it's the math around it to help you put the right amount so that you can fill your mold all the way without overfilling it, so that you don't end up with extra leftovers because you're already trying to use up all your leftovers. The Anti-Alkanet Masterclass and the cold process rebatching, those tutorials as well as everything up on the site is on sale for 25% off the rest of the month. I'm going to set these beauties, we'll look at them one more time, so pretty. I'm going to set these beauties aside. And let's start playing with our confetti soaps. The mold I'm going to be using, and I dropped the link, is my Willowy mold from Soap Equipment. That's over there. I'll pull it back out when we need it. And I'm just going to take all of these soap shreds, which are from, the various end pieces from, this is my creosote soap, this is an oatmeal soap, These are offcuts from some custom order I had. And I mean, I just got all sorts of stuff going on in here. And I would like them gone. Here's some elephants that got chopped up. It's a little elephant trunk. So I would like them gone. So we're going to turn them into new soap. And what I really like to do with this is I do this for some donation soap. So I'll be donating all of these soaps to a local nonprofit that helps battered and abused individuals. I'm pretty excited about that. This is our coconut oil. I am doing a high super fat coconut oil as my base that I'm putting all of that in. All of these have lots of butters and lots of wonderfulness in there, and it is making up a sizable portion of the batter. On my worksheet that I have, and this is the worksheet that is included with the tutorial, I am using about 35% of my mold is going to be filled with confetti shreds. So this is about 35% of the total volume of my formula here. And we're also, I was just going to make it white, but I thought it would be really pretty if, this is the Anti-Alkanet bar. All of these colors, I mean, don't they go well together? So I'm going to put, and there's enough light, bright stuff in here. The base is going to be this color, and all of those colors will be floating around in it. So I think it's going to be a very pretty soap. All right, let's get started. Moving things out of the way. I'm going to grab one more spatula, just because I like to have an extra spatula. So in my stainless steel pitcher here is my 1:1 sodium hydroxide to water solution. And this is what the Anti-Alkanet powder looks like. Anti-Alkanet, if any of you are wondering what the heck is Anti-Alkanet. Hi, Nadia. Hi, everyone that's popping in. Hi, Denise from Australia. Yay, isn't that cool that we get to play with friends all around the world? All right, so Anti-Alkanet, for those of you that are wondering, I made it up. There's not an herb called Anti-Alkanet. I was having such a hard time with alkanet that I made up my own powder, my own blend. So it is madder root and charcoal. All of the percentages, how to use it, and all that good stuff are in my book. They're also in the Anti-Alkanet Masterclass Live, obviously. And but I made it because I just couldn't get a dang purple out of alkanet. I mean, I can now, but it was so many years, and I was so excited, the idea of coming up with it. I'm just going to call it Anti-Alkanet. And anything that makes you laugh, I think, is a good thing. So what I do with this is I add it to, I have to slurry it up. And I can use additional water, but in this case, it's just a simple soap. So I'm just going to add it directly to my lye water as I'm doing here. I did put a little extra water in my solution here. So this is maybe 1.1 to 1 sodium hydroxide. I just kind of made a smoosh of powder going around. And I'm just stirring it up. So this will change color here in a moment. I know it's pitch black in there. I'll move it up for you. You can see it just turned color, and I'm just waiting for this to hydrate. So I'll just stir for a moment. Also, if you are already attending the Anti-Alkanet Masterclass replay, I did upload the first color updates, and you can see how all the soaps changed color within the first week. Then we'll be doing another update, another color update in that class once the soaps are cured. And then we're going to do, with all master classes, we do a final update a year later so you can see how well the colors hold up. So I think that's kind of fun. We'll also are going to do with that final color update, once they're cured, some lather tests so we can see. There was one soap I'm a little worried might be too dark, so we will see how well that lathers. All right, doing just a little more vigorous stirring here to really get that powder hydrated. It likes to float around on top a little bit, just until it starts to get hydrated. And we're almost there. So you can see, I mean, it looks like this murky black sludge that makes this awesome purple. Rebecca over in the group finally got a chance to do some testing with some Bromwell root. She had some lovely, lovely purple soaps for Wet Soap Wednesday. So hop over to the group and check those out. And I'm sure she'll post an update for us when she unmolds them. And I hope she remembers to give us an update on their color change once they're all cured up. I think that's the biggest kind of concern or scary part about botanicals for your net for colors in your soap is how long are they going to last. And sure they can fade. But you know, the colors in the book, I mean, I still have those, and I've done multiple videos where 2 years out and they're still wonderful colors. Some of the greens are definitely suffering, but not the blended ones. So it's just about how you make the soap, how you blend the colors, just understanding what you're using. And you can get colors that last for years. Now, if you're making enough soap to last for years, you're probably making too much soap all at one time. Typically, a bar of soap, when I'm selling, it's gone within months. You know, it's definitely in its new home and being used well before the color starts to morph, change, and fade. And for some of my customers who order custom batches and they get a lot of soap all at once, you know, probably enough for about a year, they're not storing it in a windowsill where the sun's going to be beating down on it. And that's the main thing that's going to affect the change of your colors. But also, you know, educate your customers or just yourself, depending on if you're making as a hobby or to sell, and understand that fading is part of nature. And that's one really, really key giveaway that, yeah, it really is a natural color. It's not a synthetic. So if your soaps are not fading, it's because there's not natural colors in there. That is a very good giveaway on that. And I probably should have slurried this. It's easier, and then added it to the sodium hydroxide solution. It would have hydrated faster, but you know, such is life. That's all right. And I have fun chatting with you all too. So I'm just scraping down the sides, making sure I don't have any clumps of my powder sitting up against the container. And I did have a couple, so. All right, there we go. Okay, confetti soap. What we do is we have our oils prepped. You add your sodium hydroxide, you make soap. You want to get emulsion or a light trace, then you add your shreds, and then you dump it in the mold. It's really, really, really simple. Again, the main thing is doing all of the math, and I know a lot of people get scared of math, at least here in the US. I think it's because we're just not given that initial confidence we need when we're learning it. But the worksheets on the tutorial explains exactly how to do the math, so much so that It's just fill in the blank. I ask a question, you go weigh something, you write in the answer. Then you take that, you do a little multiplication, and it's all pretty much fill in the blank, so you don't even have to think or second guess your math. And yeah, I totally use them myself because I'm always second guessing myself. A couple times here on these lives, you've seen me do some kind of math in my head, and then I have to, you know, just triple check, and I'm convinced I did something wrong, so much so that I end up sometimes doing it wrong because I just didn't write it down. All right, we are all mixed up here, and let me grab my stick blender attachment, and we can make some soap. It'll be fun to see this go purple on us. So I'll hold this up a little closer to the camera one more time for you. Very dark, black, murky looking sludge. Believe it or not, it's gonna make purple. Okay, here we go. I do feel like I make so many dark soaps on these lives. I think we were 2 or 3 weeks in a row. I was working with a lot of charcoal, and I felt like you were looking into a soapy black hole in my soap pot the whole time. Okay, this is 100% coconut oil, which soaks up very, very quickly. Can you see in there? I'm tipping it to the side. But look at the stain on the side. See that wonderful purple in there? When this dries up, it is just such a great purple. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, back to the coconut oil. 100% coconut oil soap. It will set up quite quickly. I won't need to stick blend too much. I am hoping it does not seize up on me. I did warm the oils to make sure they were all melty because it was this morning, and I knew my sodium hydroxide solution was not going to be hot. It's closer to warm temp, but my oils, by the time I clicked the go live button, were at about 100 degrees. And that's definitely not too hot to soap with, but with coconut oil, it moves fast. So anything over, you know, low 90s, I'm kind of like, oh, don't seize on me. So we'll see how well this moves for us. Just going to do a couple short bursts. Hi, Angela. Thanks for popping in. Hi, Rose. So what I'm looking for is an emulsion. And then we will pop our confetti in there. I can't wait to cut these. I'm real excited about these. I typically do just like a white soap when I'm doing confetti. And I say typically, I mean, confetti isn't something that I do often. I've only done it, you know, maybe, I don't know, a handful of times. But I usually just take all those colorful shreds and dump them in a white batch. So this is the first time that I'm doing a colored batch with colored shreds in it. I think it's going to be pretty. I've seen a lot of really great confetti soaps that are, look, can you see? Can you see the purple? But I've seen a lot of confetti soaps that are, trying to get you, there you go. See the purple we got on the stick blender? That's the soap. A lot of confetti soaps that are dark bases with the with lighter soap shreds in there, and I just think they're lots of fun. especially the ones that look like outer space. Contemplated that, but I don't think I had enough white soap in there to get enough little starbursts looking in there. Yeah, this is moving nice and slow for me right now. Watch it speed up as soon as I start dumping it in the mold. Other things with coconut oil soap, it can be very, very drying. It's very high in cleansing, one of the most cleansing soaps you'll be using. And so to kind of counteract that, you do a high superfat. So there's a lot of loose coconut oil in the bar itself. And coconut oil, unsaponified coconut oil, is very, very moisturizing. I decided, since this is moving a little bit slower than I was worried it would, I was really worried it was going to go super fast. I'm going to go ahead and just bring it to a little bit of a trace here. Yeah, but with that high superfat, a coconut oil soap can be a very, very moisturizing and cleansing bar. So I have superfatted this one, I think, at 12%. So we got a higher superfat in the base oil, but we're also adding a bunch of confetti to it. And all of these are about a 7%, 6 to 7% superfat. With olive oil, coconut oil, and sunflower seed oil. So all of this is my go-to vegan palm-free soap recipe. That's up on the site too. And we'll just have those float. Oh, look how pretty. Oh my gosh. Look how pretty. Look at that beautiful purple. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it every single time. Oh, I'm never going to get tired of that. Okay. Now we're going to add our confetti. And then we'll just pour it in a mold. This was like the fastest live ever. We are really mostly done. And we're, what, 20 minutes in? And I yammered on about my hair at the beginning. Once this is all in, I will need to give it some stirs to make sure it's thick enough to support the extra soap. Otherwise, it just all falls to the bottom. And I'm sure the heavier chunks will be in the bottom of the mold. That's okay. Oh, I should have grabbed some of the confetti soap from the tutorial. It uses a lot of the same shreds, and they're really pretty. That's a lot of shreds that you can put in here. But this is just such a great way to use up all your excess soap. And you can see you don't have to grate it up. Some of this is grated up, obviously, but you don't have to. A lot of it I just chunked up, and it took, I spent 5 minutes yesterday just scrounging around for any leftover soap bits I had. Some were in my rebatch buckets. I had some offcuts in another bucket that I hadn't quite organized away yet. But yeah, like 5 minutes, and I had about 40% of my soap mix all set up, ready to go. So, like this one, oh my gosh, the colors, they're great. This one here, this is a really big chunk, right? Well, that's not going to be like a chunk floating in the full bar. It'll get cut up when we go to cut the bars too, which is part of the fun of the cut. Every single one is going to be different. So yeah, you can have some nice chunky soaps in there. And I do like to stir for a bit, just by hand. It kind of helps ensure that all of the pieces of the soap get coated really, really well. And I kind of feel like I'm marinating. I want to marinate my confetti. I think this is going to be pretty. Oh, super pretty once we cut it up and we see all those colors. I'm really looking forward. Some of the shreds in there were Alkanet, and those were larger chunks. So I'm hoping we'll have some purple on purple going on. We'll have some blue on purple. I've got some tangerine, kind of orange, kind of like a rust orange color that goes good with purple. There are some yellows in there. You already said the blues. And I have the oatmeal and tan colors from the chaparral soap and the oatmeal soap. This is going to be a fantastic soap. Yeah, this is moving very nicely and slow for me. I don't know why I was so worried about it being too warm and getting too hot for us. Probably because we're live and I always anticipate a little more, few more issues if we're going to be live, because, you know, if something's going to go wrong, that's when it'll go wrong, right? So I have a choice right now. I could let this just, you know, hang out for like 5 minutes and get a little bit thicker. Or I can just go ahead and pour it. I think since we're live, I will just go ahead and pour it. I'll probably check comments in a minute. Your soap will, it's saponification is happening right now. And this soap will continue to get thick before I put it in the mold, right? And sometimes that's okay, and that's what you want. Because it gives you some time to do things. Like I just went and put some dishes away, tidied up a little bit, things like that. It also could give you time to split your batches in order to color different portions. Maybe you like to set the mold up now. There's all sorts of reasons why you might just want a little extra time. Now, if you don't want that extra time, you use extra agitation with your stick blender, or you can use extra heat by having your oils hotter, or you could even adjust your water content. Now, specifically with coconut oil, you do have to keep an eye on this puppy because it can, I've had coconut oil, it looks perfect, it's great, you pour it into the mold, you look away for a minute to maybe tidy up, and then poof, you have a volcano. It can happen fast, so we probably should go ahead and get this popped into the mold. And I am seeing a nice light trace here. It's very runny. It is a super light trace past emulsion. Hopefully that'll keep me from having that volcano in the mold, but we shall see. We shall see. All right, let's pour some soap. Grab the mold. It sure seems extra bright in here today. I wonder if I have a setting off, but that just looks like a white in the abyss of white. See, you can see that. Okay, here we go. Pour in. Can't even see all the messy splashes happening. And look at that. Filled it all the way to the tippy top with only a smidge of scrapings left over. That's really the point of that tutorial. I've got also a lot of good tips on what's called the Ciaglia method, which is kind of like partial rebatching, but it's cold process instead of hot process. Oh, look at our lovely purple. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I love purple soap. But oh, look how fun this is. We've got some elephants floating on the top. But as I was saying, we filled the mold absolutely perfectly to the top because we just ran the math. That's the beauty of that worksheet. I love it so much. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yay, look at that. Oh, I'm really excited about this. I cannot wait to cut this. I will snap a photo of it wet too and show it to you so you can see like the full surface without the overhead lights kind of shining down on it like that. Oh, super fun. But this is a great way to use up your soaps. Let me go grab some of the confetti soap. And I already had them. I had them wrapped up. Let me unwrap it for us. But these are some of the same soap shreds. So it'll look kind of like that. Those are some of the shred pieces in there. They did a little botanical shred top decoration on them. But these are from the same soaps from the tutorial, and we'll have some of those same colors, but instead of floating around in a creamy white ivory soap base, it's gonna be purple. Oh my goodness, yay, so fun. All right, so that was super fast, super quick. I hope you had fun making some soap with me, wet soap on a Wet Soap Wednesday live. I will double check comments. Yeah, thanks for popping in, and until next time, I'll see you then. Oh, and don't forget, if you want any of the tutorials or masterclasses on the site, or even my book, now's the time to snag them, because everything is 25% off site-wide, and Denise just chimed in and said you need to take a look at the worksheet that you rebatched a lot of your soap yesterday. Yeah, the worksheet's awesome. I love both of the rebatching tutorials because we all have soap shreds. We all have them, and they do have lots of value, and use them up. Enjoy it. All right, soapy friends, until next time.
Here's just a quick overview of the wet soap top and then the final cut bars. If you do make any Anti-Alkanet confetti soap, please be sure to share them with me over on the Facebook group. Happy soaping, everyone.